Back when I was 16, a friend introduced me to this hidden part of the internet called Dream Market. He used it to buy stuff like weed. He even had what he called a trusted dealer, whose details he shared with me to make a purchase. I don't support such activities. I was just young and naive, thinking that getting weed could help me with my senior projects. After that initial purchase, I couldn't resist the temptation to explore Dream Market further. I discovered a range of items, from counterfeit bills to real guns. It piqued my curiosity about the deep web. On Dream Market, I stumbled upon a link that led to what seemed to be a drug chat room. Many people were advertising the drugs they were selling, complete with their rates. It caught my interest. In the chat, people shared random .onion links. I clicked on one that took me to a black page titled Home Base in large text. Below that were various other links. I clicked on several, but most didn't load. Probably dead links. One, however, led to another chat room without a title. 3 random-looking usernames were signed in. Without any specific purpose, I joined the conversation. The chat history showed previous conversations in various languages. A guy, still in the chat, greeted me with a yo before I said anything. I responded, and he asked what I was looking for. I replied with a casual, "I don't know, LOL." He inquired about how I found the link, and I told him it was from a site called Homebase. Curious about the deep web, I asked if he had any interesting links. His response was a simple LOL, followed by a link. Clicking on the link, the page took a while to load. First, a black background loaded, followed by a text box near the bottom. The last thing to appear was a video. Initially, I thought it was a pausable video, but it turned out to be some kind of live streaming video. The black and white footage showed a dark room with mannequin-like figures seated in wooden chairs. The grainy effect added an eerie touch to the scene, making it feel surreal and unsettling. Unable to discern whether it was live or not, the video took a terrifying turn. One of the seemingly mannequin figures in the chair suddenly jumped up, sprinting towards the camera, accompanied by a loud, staticky screaming sound. The porcelain mask on the person's face filled the screen, leaving only darkness. Confused and disturbed, I returned to the chat, asking the guy what on earth I had just witnessed. His response was a cryptic, "Just keep watching, LOL," after which he left the chat. Going back to the video, the live stream window was gone, replaced by a blank screen with only the text box at the bottom. Strangely, I couldn't type anything, and my Tor browser window suddenly closed without any input from me. Then, a deep, raspy voice emanated from my speakers, attempting to disguise itself. The voice knew my first name and claimed to have all my files. Suddenly, the webcam window popped up, displaying my face on the screen. Panicking, I shut down my laptop and headed to the Geek Squad at Best Buy, where I purchased the computer. The guy at Geek Squad suspected that the intruder obtained basic info from my computer, like my account name. He suggested a factory reset, which we performed together. Fortunately, I didn't have anything crucial to lose, as the computer was relatively new. In the end, I learned a valuable lesson. If you ever venture into the deep web, use a VPN, even for seemingly safe websites. In the past, I used to navigate the dark web quite frequently. One evening, while aimlessly exploring various sites out of sheer boredom, I stumbled upon a chat room where I encountered an individual named Michael. We struck up a conversation that eventually blossomed into an unexpected friendship. For months, we chatted daily about mundane topics, sharing funny videos and memes like any regular friends would. Michael became my internet buddy, and we got along remarkably well. One typical night, engrossed in computer shenanigans, I found myself chatting with Michael and some other friends I had made on the dark web. Then came the moment when Michael sent me a link, a seemingly harmless gesture that would lead to an indelible mark on my memory. With a casual click and an anticipatory smile, I expected to be greeted by a humorous meme video. However, my expectations were shattered when the link directed me to a live video that defied all decency. In the unsettling footage, a woman, completely naked and bound, appeared alongside a masked man, presumably her kidnapper. What unfolded was beyond sinister. and the gravity of the situation is still haunting as I recount it now. The masked man, addressing over 200 viewers on the live stream, asked them to vote on how he should execute the helpless woman. The gruesome options included burning her alive, submerging her in scalding water, dismemberment until bleeding out, or a gunshot. Shockingly, the majority opted for boiling her to death. Overwhelmed with panic, I couldn't tear my eyes away, recording the horrifying scene on my phone, a desperate attempt to document evidence for the police. And the experience left an indelible mark on my psyche. I wrestled with the conflicting instincts to look away and the morbid curiosity that kept drawing my gaze back to the screen. Unable to endure the brutality any longer, I swiftly exited the dark web, shutting down my computer and even unplugging it from the wall. In a state of distress, I reached out to my best friend in real life, eager to share the nightmarish encounter. However, to my surprise, he advised against involving the police, cautioning me that I might face repercussions just for witnessing the horrific event. Haunted by doubts, I hesitated to contact law enforcement, eventually deciding against it. Looking back, I question whether they could have taken any meaningful action. The uncertainty surrounding Michael's involvement in the disturbing incident further complicated matters, and I chose to distance myself from the dark web entirely. Whether Michael intentionally sent me that link or fell victim to hacking remains unclear. Regardless, the ordeal served as a stark reminder of the dangers lurking online. Living a rather ordinary yet somewhat boring life, my routine involved returning home from work around 10:30 p.m. each night. More often than not, my wife would already be peacefully asleep by the time I arrived. Our moments together were mostly confined to Saturdays, given that it was my only day off during the week. Upon returning from work, my typical ritual involved grabbing a late-night snack, watching TV, or engaging in computer games and web browsing. On a particular night, I found myself engrossed in a game with my buddy, now known as Eric. I can't recall the catalyst, but our conversation veered into the mysterious realms of the dark web. Although I had heard about the deep web before, my knowledge was limited. The sinister reputation of the dark web intrigued me, and Eric's tales only fueled my curiosity. He guided me on how to access this clandestine domain, emphasizing the need to download a tool called the Tor browser. After our gaming session, I delved into online research, even resorting to YouTube tutorials on navigating the dark web. While engrossed in my exploration, my wife, stirred from sleep, inquired if I was joining her in bed. Taking it as a subtle cue, I abandoned the computer, promising to delve further into my research the next day. True to my word, the subsequent evening, with my wife in a peaceful slumber, I seized the opportunity to explore the mysterious dark web. Fueled by curiosity, I cautiously maneuvered my way into this unknown territory. Remembering Eric's advice to tread carefully and avoid suspicious links, I began my exploration, uncovering an array of bizarre sites. Without delving into exhaustive details, I found myself on a website offering illegal weapons. Clicking what I presumed to be the next page of weapon listings, I was transported to an entirely different website, opening a new tab on my computer. Out of the blue, hostile messages flooded my screen. Threats of finding and harming me, coupled with demands for money, emanated from an anonymous aggressor. Irritated, I engaged in a war of words, dismissing the threats as juvenile attempts at intimidation. The tone escalated, with the tormentor disclosing my address and real name, sending shivers down my spine. Fearing the worst, I was warned against logging off. The assailant vowed repercussions for my family unless I complied. The ominous promise of hacking my computer to plant disturbing images intensified my panic. Demanding $2,000 in Bitcoin, the choice between compliance and resistance became increasingly dire. While reluctant to capitulate, I found myself cornered, unable to exit the dark web or the Tor browser. Somehow, the assailant had hacked my computer. In a desperate move, I unplugged the computer from the wall, halting the intrusion temporarily. Upon restarting, a barrage of graphic and disturbing images plagued my screen, inducing nausea, and a severe panic attack. Subsequently, a chat request from the tormentor surfaced, escalating the threats. Debating whether to comply, I grappled with the potential consequences. Despite a strong desire to end the ordeal, an innate distrust prevailed. Unplugging my computer once more, I resolved never to log back in. This traumatic episode unfolded nearly a decade ago, marking the most unsettling experience of my life. Reporting the incident to the authorities yielded no resolution. My computer was seized, never to be returned. Having moved away from that ominous house after almost 2 years, my family and I, fortunately, encountered no physical harm. However, unexplainable occurrences persisted, such as mysterious knocks on doors and bedroom windows during late-night hours. While no intruders were sighted, the lingering uncertainty prevailed. Whether linked to the dark web tormentor or random pranks by mischievous kids, the truth remains elusive to this day. I used to be an ordinary guy, navigating through life without much excitement. My days were routine: work, home, dinner, and a bit of TV before bed. That was until I discovered the dark web, a place I never thought I'd tread. Little did I know, the decision to explore this sinister realm would plunge me into a harrowing nightmare. It all began on a quiet evening when boredom nudged me towards the mysterious corners of the internet. Intrigued by the whispers of the dark web's secrets, I decided to venture into the unknown. Armed with a virtual cloak of anonymity, I downloaded the infamous Tor browser, the gateway to the hidden recesses of the web. As I delved into the murky depths, the initial shock of encountering illegal activities and shady dealings began to fade. It became a twisted fascination, a digital realm where one could stumble upon the unimaginable. Late one night, curiosity led me to a chat room, a gathering place for those who lurked in the shadows. In this dimly lit virtual space, I connected with a user who went by the enigmatic moniker Silent Watcher. The conversations began innocently enough, discussions about obscure topics, sharing bizarre memes, and the occasional dark humor. Silent Watcher seemed like just another online acquaintance, a cipher hiding behind a screen. However, the seemingly harmless exchanges took a chilling turn when Silent Watcher initiated a private chat. A link appeared on my screen, and a sinister invitation lingered in the virtual air. I hesitated, but ultimately succumbed to the intrigue, clicking the link with a sense of foreboding. To my horror, the webpage that unfolded revealed a live stream. A woman bound and helpless, her eyes reflecting sheer terror. A masked figure, clad in darkness, stood ominously beside her. The chat section buzzed with disturbing suggestions, as viewers proposed unspeakable fates for the captive woman. Fear gripped me, and a moral dilemma paralyzed my actions. Should I alert the authorities and risk exposing my clandestine online activities? Or should I bear witness to this digital atrocity, fearing the potential consequences of intervention? As the majority voted for the most gruesome demise, the masked figure, devoid of any humanity, carried out the heinous act. The woman's agonizing screams echoed through my headphones, leaving an indelible mark on my soul. The screen displayed an unspeakable horror, forcing me to confront the malevolent underbelly of the digital world. Overwhelmed by guilt and helplessness, I made a hasty retreat from the dark web. I shut down my computer, severed the connection, and tried to erase the haunting images etched into my mind. Sleep became elusive as the echoes of that fateful live stream reverberated in my nightmares. Days turned into nights, and the weight of the dark secret burdened my conscience. The lines between reality and the virtual realm blurred, leaving me in a perpetual state of anxiety. I grappled with the decision to share my chilling experience with someone, anyone who might understand. Eventually, unable to contain the torment within, I confided in my closest friend, Jake. As I recounted the events, a mixture of disbelief and horror clouded Jake's face. His advice, however, sent shivers down my spine. "Stay silent," he urged, cautioning against involving the authorities. The digital world, he warned, held its own set of perils, and intervention might bring unforeseen consequences. Haunted by the specter of that night, I withdrew from the dark web, vowing never to return. The virtual landscape, once a source of fascination, transformed into a realm of unspeakable horrors. My ordinary life had become intertwined with an extraordinary darkness that refused to release its grip. In the ensuing weeks, a sinister undercurrent permeated my reality. Strange occurrences unfolded. Unexplained knocks on my door late at night. Glimpses of shadowy figures lurking in the periphery. Paranoia crept into my daily existence, and the line between the tangible and the imagined blurred. The torment escalated as the unseen forces intensified their presence. Sleepless nights turned into days marked by perpetual dread. The walls of my sanity crumbled, and the once ordinary life I had known slipped away. In my quest for the unknown, I had unwittingly opened a Pandora's box of horrors. The dark web, with its promises of anonymity, had ensnared me in a web of malevolence that transcended the digital realm. The shadows cast by that night continued to darken my days, and the whispers of the virtual abyss lingered in the recesses of my consciousness. As I grappled with the aftermath, I questioned the very fabric of reality. Was the darkness that now surrounded me a manifestation of my own guilt? Or had I unknowingly invited something far more sinister into my life? The answers eluded me, leaving me trapped in a nightmarish limbo, forever haunted by the echoes of the dark web.